Hello, everyone on the replay. We're just going live, going up the Hood Canal right now. Off in the distance behind me, you can't really see it, but right there is the Hood Canal lift bridge. I just came up out of the Hood Canal, headed north. I am solo sailing today on board of a Spencer 42 sailing yacht. This thing's a pretty good little boat, and we just sailed through the canal openings single-handed, which is a bit of a feat on its own because that is something that you really have to time. So when you're sailing by yourself and you're having to time everything, you're having to work everything just right so you can be there, because you have to make an appointment to have that bridge open. So you don't want to be there too fast or you have a problem. You don't want to be there too slow or everyone's waiting on you with an open bridge. So we worked it just right today. I feel really good about that. Hey, Picked a Stone. Hey, Caleb. How you guys doing? So glad you could join me today. Just to catch up the chat, I am just going through the mouth of the Hood Canal. I went down there, spent some time with some friends from high school, had a really good time. Hadn't seen those guys in a long, long time. I saw them once for a couple hours over in Silverdale. They came down and saw me, and then I sailed down to the little town they live in off the Hood Canal here. So that was really cool. I really enjoyed that. Had a real nice time. Had Easter dinner with them, so... Well, glad to hear you're doing good, Caleb. How's that diesel dog of yours doing? So we're rolling right on in here. I've been trying to film, but the GoPros keep dying. If you notice, there's a GoPro up here. I was going to film going through the canal. I filmed it going down, but I almost sailed through it, but had to motor at the last minute because I lost the wind. But so we're just kind of cruising along now, and everybody on that bridge is probably still pissed because they shut down traffic to open the bridge. It's really neat how that thing works, because the section of the bridge lifts up and then the other section pulls back underneath it. It's really cool. And in an upcoming video, I'm going to have some of that. So that's going to be pretty sweet. And got Mr. Dexter out here riding along with me today. I think you can see him in the background there, and just hanging out. And he really enjoyed himself this weekend. We've been going around visiting people that all had dogs, so he's been playing like a young pup. But... for those of you guys that don't know, Alex is no longer on the boat with me. He has joined the Navy, which is really great for him, and wish him the best with that. We parted ways as friends. And he is actually joining the Navy so he can put the money together to buy his own boat. He decided he liked it so much out here that that's what he's going to do. And please excuse the Marine VHF in the background. There's nothing I can really do about it. You kind of have to have that on so I can hear it if something happens. I'm going to adjust the squelch just a tad, though, because that's pretty loud and annoying, and I would like people to watch the video. So there we go, we're just going to squelch that out just a bit. But as you can see, man, what a glorious day out here. I guess you guys can't see it. It's clouding in a little bit now. But this trip up the Hood Canal, if you ever have the opportunity to do that on a sailboat, it is just an amazing little trip to make. And I really, really enjoyed this trip up in here. The only thing about it is the wind is a bit fickle. I mean, a little bit ago we had like 20 knots blowing. Now we're down to about 8, and I've got a boat speed of 3.3. So probably before the day's out here, I will probably be back to motoring. I'll probably want to take its sails down when we get done with the live stream here. I just want to pop in. I haven't been on the channel in a little while. The other big news is it sounds like the Alaska trip that I wanted to do this summer is getting scrubbed, and that's because the insurance company wanted $600 to insure me for the trip, and then they wanted to double my annual premiums if I went to Alaska, which more than knocks out the savings of going up to Seward, where I was going to go to work on the boat. So that kind of slows things down a little bit. But yeah, traffic moving now. I guess everybody's not mad anymore. On the way down, I had some dude yelling off of this bridge at me. "Oh, you make them open the bridge." Bah! He was all mad about it. And I was like, yeah, it sucks to be you, buddy. So, yeah, we're just kind of starting to get into nicer weather. It was beautiful earlier. It's getting all gray and raining now. I mean, back where I was, it's all raining now. So I guess I got out of here right at the right time to get back up to the top of the canal here. I'm actually going to go up and I'm through Canadian Customs here this week just to see what the process is like. I've never had to do it before, so before I go buy a bunch of food and supplies and everything else, I just want to have a chat with them and find out what I need to do, what the deal is, because I don't want to get up there and have like a bunch of groceries that I just bought and they're like, oh, well, you have to throw this all away because it's not allowed in Canada. So that's what we're getting ready to do this next week. Hopefully, as it works out, I think the big plan is probably going to be to go down the coast of California. I really don't want to do another winter in Washington. It's just, in Washington, the winter is cold and rain. There's not really cold and snow. I'd rather have snow than rain, which is why I was going to go to Alaska. And I've done 3 winters here now. I'm kind of over it. I'm ready to get out of the state. Hey, Max Racing Team, how you doing, man? I haven't seen you around in a while. So I want to get out of the state. I'm tired of being here. I just want to go and enjoy life a little bit somewhere else. So, I mean, if I go down to California, I can bebop down into Mexico, can do some things like that. And if I got to pull the boat out of the water, which I'm going to have to, I'm going to do a complete bottom job on it. So we're going to kind of get to do some of the things that Mads over on Sail Life has just done. So if you guys haven't checked out his channel, he's really good. He does a really good job of it. And we're going to be going in doing some stuff to this. I've had some adventures here. We lost steering a couple of weeks ago in the middle of a big storm, and that was pretty wild because we had like 9-foot seas. Lost steering, had to rig an emergency tiller. I mean, that was pretty wild because as soon as I lost steering, the boat turned sideways into a wave, and the portion of the bow that was pushing the wave was now the boat was pushing that with the cabin house windows. But surprisingly, she stayed upright and got hit by those big waves, didn't turn turtle, rode right through it. I was able to do what I had to do to get the emergency tiller rigged, and we just walked right in. So that was good things. Trying to make the chat pop up here. It keeps popping down, so I don't know what's... Come on, chat window. Let's go. There we go. Yeah. Well, Max, I'm glad you stopped in. I haven't been doing a whole lot of YouTube stuff this year, and part of that is Alex really didn't like doing it. And so with him not liking doing it, it kind of made it difficult to film. And then, I've got to sit there and edit the video and make noise while I'm editing it. Because when you're editing a video, you watch it over and over and over again, and that makes it really difficult. And, he wasn't in it. He didn't want to film. He didn't really like being on film. So I just, and then plus, I didn't really have much that was interesting to show this winter. I mean, I'm sure I could have made a few videos, but it was mostly dealing with issues with the VA, trying to get things going there. And I still don't even know if those are resolved, but we're kind of at that point. I don't know what's going on here. My phone just kind of tried to dim out. I don't know if I lost power or what. Let me see something here. Oh, there we go. The plug had come undone. Probably while we're out there bashing through those heavy seas. It's kind of crazy. Like right now, we got like no wind. It's down to 4 knots, so we're just basically drifting here and walking away from the bridge. Earlier, I was out here busting through 20 knots and just dipping a rail and flying. And that's the thing I hate about sailing in the Sound up here, is you just have no consistent wind. And it's a lot of work putting up sails. I mean, for those of you that are truck drivers, you think about the amount of work you have to do to put out a tarp. Well, it's similar, except instead of rolling the tarp over the top of a load, you're hauling it up the mast. And so when you got to change a sail, it's like pulling it down. You got to roll it all up, stuff it in a bag. It's a good amount of work. So I hate it when I have to switch it out like that. But yeah, that's about what's been going on here. Don't have a whole lot other to report than that. Just been eating a lot of good food and hanging out with people. Made some friends here. Buddy Jim over here I met through the Washington chapter of the Drinking Bros. Pretty cool dude. Went over and saw him for a couple of days and things like that. Just been having a great time and really starting to enjoy the boat life now that the boat's paid off and I don't have that big thing hanging over my head anymore. And really the big stressor I have right now is just getting out of Washington State and figuring out where it is I'm going to go next, which we're probably going to California. It's not totally set in stone because it really depends on the insurance company again. I don't know what's going to happen, if I'm going to have to change insurance companies or what, but the whole wanting to go to Alaska thing kind of bums me out because I really wanted to do it. But at the same time, I mean, it ain't going to hurt my feelings to go down the coast of California anyways, get this thing outfitted, and then maybe I'll just cruise on over to Hawaii for a bit and then possibly pop back on up to Alaska from there. I don't know, once the boat's been outfitted and I'm not, the big thing is with the money I have coming in right now, I'm living on my VA retirement. And so with the VA retirement, I have a limited amount that I can spend. So if they double my premium, that just takes a huge chunk out of what I can spend on the boat annually. And so I really want to get this boat outfitted and kind of set up the way that I want it. Things like an autopilot. That's a really big deal. That's going to be the next big push, is getting an autopilot in here, getting the new holding tank for it built and things like that. Because the holding tank I have right now is under the floor. And I don't much like that because it really, really slows things down. So we're going to have to do something about that. Oh, I got to show you guys this. There's Chicago. 1-3. Look at that guy right there. He's just... Like, this is my seat. It's my seat. No one else can have it. The dog just continually cracks me up. So that's what we've got going on, and I have like completely lost the wind here. There's a little bit more blowing, kind of a band coming I can see. We're just kind of sitting here bobbing right now. So hopefully that pops back up. I'd like to sail the rest of the way because I'm still, what, I don't know, 6.2 miles away. So if I could sail this last hour, that would be great. So we'll see if this wind fills in or not. But going back up into the little bay here tonight, and then tomorrow going to go up to Port Townsend.
This ship is not in a big hurry. You see you're going. Is that correct?
Oh, there's big ships crossing the channel out here.
If I just stay right behind you. Never less than 2 miles up.
Did the boom bother you coming across? It scares them every time that boom goes by. And I can't tell what this wind's wanting to do. I mean, it's just being all kind of funny. It's supposed to fill in out of the north later tonight, so we're going to see what happens there. And I'm sorry if that radio's annoying as hell, but you know, we got to have it on out here to see what's going on. Yeah, the wind's coming around to the other side, so let me pop this loose. We're going to bring that sheet to the other side. We're just solo sailing here. Maybe we'll be able to start making some way again. Oh yeah, watch out, Dexter. Watch out. You can't be underneath me. Yeah, it looks like she's going to fill in out of the north a little bit, so you guys might actually get to see some sailing happen here instead of just bobbing. Dexter, you make a horrible rug, dude. You make a horrible rug. Horrible rug. I love you, but you make a horrible rug. Alrighty, let me catch the comments up here. Pick to Stone says, all three of my dogs got kicked outside today because it's been so nice. I hear you there. He just went through the summertime shed, and so he is all kinds of... Oh, shit, we got an override. There we go. Get that fixed. Crank down on this a little bit. Maybe we can get her making way through the water fairly smartly. There we go. That's what we're looking for. And I'm just trying this live stream here today as an experiment just to see if I can handle sailing and doing a live stream at the same time, which it seems that I can. I mean, once you have the boat set, she just kind of carries herself. And while we're at it, I'm going to take in on the main sheet a little bit, as I was kind of set up for a different point of sail there. Yeah. Here we go. Wind's setting in now. We got 12 knots. Oh yeah. Whoa. Heeling on over. There goes the bucket. Oh yeah, we're doing good now. I should be able to walk this up around, walk right out the channel with this. That's great. Oh, feels good, feels good. Yeah. And now she's kind of dying off. I think the wind's getting blocked by the land a little bit, so we'll see. I mean, I see a band of... You can actually see the wind on the water by the way it distorts the water when you're sailing. And so... No, don't start flapping on me. Hopefully I hit this band here, and we're getting about 15 knots again, maybe 18 knots. This boat performs really well there. She'll give you about 6 or 7 through the water. She's a real get-up-and-go machine. And we still got a little bit of current coming out of the channel with us, so that's a really good thing. And we're 6 miles exactly, so if I could get this thing up about 7 knots, that'd give me less than an hour to get to my destination. We'll see how that goes. Come on, wind, fill in for me, come on. Ooh, there comes some rain. Fixing to have a wet dog. Yeah, it's gonna storm, it looks like. Oh yeah. Now we're picking up about 15 knots. And so it looks like we're gonna be able to roll right on over here, tack over, and right out the channel here. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Hear everything sliding there. That's the boat starting to lean over good. Ha-ha! We're moving now. We are moving now. There's 5.7. 5.2. Slowing back down a little. Hey Rob, how we doing? When is it not raining in Washington? Yeah, it rains in Washington a lot. That's why I love this hard Dodger, which I don't know how it makes my voice sound under here. I'm sure there's a lot of reverb in it, but yeah. We're just picking right along here. Let me see how much tension I got on that. Yeah. Maybe we could bring that in just a little bit more. Oh. Yeah, there we go. Get her nice and trimmed up now. And she needs just a little bit more main sheet brought in. So we are doing it. I kind of really have to wonder if watching sailing is like watching golf. I don't know. You know, it's one of those things. There's a lot. It feels really fast in the moment. It feels like there's a lot going on. But I don't know how it plays when you guys are just sitting there watching what I'm doing. And so that's why this is kind of an experiment, just to see how it is. Well, it's coming down pretty good out here, but it's looking lighter to the north where we're going, so I do like that. So, yeah, a little bit of echo, so not really anything I can do about that, though, unless I got a lavalier mic, which I have one. It's just broken. So maybe I should look at getting that fixed up, but as Robin said, yeah, I got the boat all paid off. I'm really enjoying owning this thing. I've been getting some work done to it. Got one half of the steering system rebuilt. Now I got to redo the other half. I've got a great set of videos coming together on that from redoing it, because the block of wood that the steering was mounted on in there was just a piece of engineered lumber, and the glue in that engineered lumber failed. And so I had to go in and replace it all. And what I went in and did is I replaced it with a piece of purple heartwood and did a really nice job of that. And I over-drilled the holes and then filled them with epoxy, then drilled them again and tapped them. And so that thing should last a good long time. And I put drains through it and everything else like that. So if it gets any water in there, the water can't sit. Hey, Brandon, how we doing, man? We're just out here sailing today. Live streaming and sailing all at once. Making 5.6 knots, 5.83 miles to my destination. We're clipping right along, doing good. So hoping this wind's pushing from the north, so I'm hoping by the time I turn up the channel here, this wind will push these clouds right past me along with this rain. It's just a little squall here. I'm staying dry. That's a great thing about this Dodger, is I'm staying so dry under here. And we're able to just kind of go cooking along. I do need to get some better windshield wipers on this thing, that's for damn sure, though, because it makes it a mite bit hard to see anything. So, wow, I'm absolutely loving it. So a big question I'm going to ask you guys, because it's kind of like the core audience that's here tonight. If I was to get some Renegade Sailing t-shirts or Renegade Show t-shirts put together, how would you guys feel about that? Would that be something you'd be up for picking a couple up or what? Because I'm going to start working on getting some money raised to get an autopilot put in this boat. I really want to get a Furuno 711. Woo-hoo-hoo! There we go. Yeah. Baby. We're running now. We are running now. That's a little bit of wind. You guys might be in for a bit of a show here. This is getting a mite bit technical. Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, this is straight up and down right now, and you can see the angle of trim on the boat. This is fantastic. We're just riding right along. Oh, I'm loving this. And the boat's just walking with it, no problem whatsoever. Yeah. But like I was saying, thinking about getting some t-shirts and everything going, little things like that. Maybe stickers, I don't know. I want to get set up where I can help fund this project a little bit as I start putting the boat together. And I'm also going to start doing the pay-per-view site thing. I'm going to get that launched. Well, not pay-per-view, but, you know, a membership site based, you know, where the videos are going to come out earlier on the site than they do publicly, like probably by about a month, just as kind of a perk for everyone. So we'll kind of see on that. I'm just kind of waiting to see how all that's going to pan out and how everything's going. The state of Washington's making my life a little bit interesting. I actually have to leave the state by, actually, well, Monday evening. Monday at midnight, I have to be out of here. Oh, wow, we're getting hail. So, that's going to be fun. Getting hailed on all over. Well, I guess I turned on the live stream right at the time. You guys are getting a little bit of a show, huh? Woo! Oh, there goes flashlight. Yeah, I need to get some organization going on the inside of the boat here. Get things kind of happening. I'm just kind of looking up through the windshields, making sure there's no traffic. I'm the only one who's crazy enough to be out here right now, though. I looked at getting the cruiser's permit, Rob, but it's like $800, and I was like, I don't want to spend $800 on a permit just to stay in your state. So I'm going to pop up into Canada, stay there for a few days, which will get me another 61 days. And then once I pop out there, then I'm probably just going to get after it and head down the coast to California. Not a fender fall over the side. I'll get that later. I'm not worried about it right now. Oh, both of them. We took a wave over the deck. So I mean, there's not really super high waves out here. It's just the wind, I think, carrying everything. But it's pretty wild. I mean, I guess you guys can't even see with it grayed out in the back here. Let me see if I can turn the camera around and show you guys what's going on out here, because I think that'll be a little more interesting than sitting here watching me talk. So there we go. Let me pop this around. There, yeah, now you can see. Move that up just a little bit. Oh, yeah. There we go. Flying now. You can just see that wind and wave, everything bumping on by. And you can see the fenders fell over the side of the deck, maybe. I don't know if you... Yeah. We're going to start to round up into the wind a little bit here. Yeah, baby. Put me right on the perfect course, though, for what I need to be. This worked out just right. This boat loves to reach. That's what we're doing right now. We're reaching up into this. Okay, so we're just sailing along, hitting it hard. How you doing, Dexter? Well, you knocked your water over. All right, buddy. Yeah. Yeah, we're doing good now. We're just cruising right along. Depowered it there for a second. There's the wind coming back. Oh yeah. Woo! Boy, that wind opened up a lot more than what I was expecting coming around here. It was just dead, and then all of a sudden, boom, there it is. Bringing that sheet in a little bit, trying to bring the power down some. Oh yeah, we having a party here. Whew. Taking me exactly the way I need to go, though. All right, there we are. I'm guessing the plug got disconnected or something. There we go. I'm plugged in now. Okay. Oh yeah, 5.5 knots. There we go. A lot of rain up in Washington. You're right about that, Brandon. Brandon, the reason I'm leaving Washington is because I registered the boat in Montana because Washington was too expensive. So in order to be in Washington more than 60 days, you're supposed to be registered here. Well, I really don't want to mess with that. So my course of action, my plan of action is to go up into Canada for a few days. And so I'm fixing to cross the Strait of San Juan de Fuca and go up to Victoria. And we're going to go over there and hang out for a few days, and then I can come back, get another 61 days, and then hopefully we'll go to California from there, is what I'm looking at, just after the 4th of July is the plan. I may make another trip up into Canada because there is a couple of Spencers up there I'd like to go take a look at if possible. And then I would also like to see Finding Simon. I've been watching his videos, been enjoying that, so I've been thinking about making a run up there and doing that thing. So just kind of stoked about it. Oh yeah, look at that spray. We hitting some waves now. What I love, I mean, we're getting some pretty solid conditions. We're 23 knots of wind right now, and this boat is just sailing as good as can be. I'm loving it. Yeah, Victoria is a beautiful place, Brandon. I'm really digging it. So we'll see here, 6.3 knots through the water right now. Yeah, we're just woofing right along. And I'm going to try and kind of get up to the lee of the land here. Once we get up where the wind's not blowing as hard over here, which it's already starting to die back off, I'm going to get out and throw 2 reefs in. And then by throwing those reefs in, what that's going to do is it's going to depower the boat a little bit so she won't heel as hard. And then that way when I'm sailing down to where I'm going, the wind will be coming behind me and I don't want it pushing me around a whole bunch. So we're going to get some of the power out of it. I may actually even take the main down. That's probably what I'm going to do, because with this amount of wind, just with that jib up, we're going to be flying. I mean, we're 20 knots right now, so we'll see what I do. But man, she's rolling right along, and this is just beautiful. I'm really liking this. But 6.6 knots. If I wanted to fall off the wind a little bit more, she'd actually give me a little bit more than this. She's not in the best trim right now. I'm getting just a little bit of flutter in the main, but I'm not going to take it in because I actually do not want the boat to perform better than this. She's kind of like, well, she will happily handle more speed than this, but not with this much main up. So I need to get that main kind of pulled down and do the thing there. So we're gonna get up close to the land here and kind of get where we're sheltered by the land. I'm gonna go up, get that damn sail figured out, and then we're gonna go from there. So hopefully that'll get us right where we need to be. Oh man, she's blowing good now. I can just feel her just woofing along. So yeah, party time. You guys can see when you started this stream, I mean, it was the calm before the storm, and look at us now. I mean, we're just out here just flying. So we're going to get up closer to this shore here. Once we get up closer to this shore, the wind should back out pretty good. We'll be blocked by the land. We'll be in the lee of the land there. As the way the wind's coming, it's coming just directly out of the north. And then before I switch onto the other tack and start sailing out of here, we'll get those sails shortened down a bit and get this thing a little more comfortable on the ride. As I'm seeing 25 knots of wind right now, so she's screaming. Which, you know, granted, I'm making 5.5 through the water, so that's 20 knots of wind, because, you know, you have the speed going forward and then the wind, since it's coming at me, so you have a convergent speed on the anemometer there. It's not the true wind speed. But if you guys look at like at windy.tv, you look at the top of the Hood Canal, you'll see, well, you know, you'd probably be over by the time anyone does this, but she's woofing good, that's for sure. Okay. Come on, wind just a little bit. A little that power out of her. Yeehaw! Yeah, now she's backing off just a little bit. We're kind of getting in the shadow of the land there, which is what we need. Oh yeah, big waves. I'll probably leave this on so you guys can watch me go forward. That's going to be an experience. I'm going to be wet by the time that's over. But it looks like the clouds are blowing past, so we should see this little storm cell die down. And she's riding through it just as nice as could be. I mean, I'm really getting a lot of faith in this boat. Had this been on the open ocean, I mean, I'd have needed to reef for this before it got here. I should have been reefed before it got here, but I was sitting here talking to you guys. I was kind of surprised how fast this all came on. Because this is stronger than what's in the forecast right now. So yeah, see, we're kind of getting up into it now. You can hear the sails flogging. I'll fall off just a tad. We're just kind of riding right on the edge of where she's powered right there, just to kind of keep her where we need her to be. And walking her up towards the land here. Now that we're getting a little closer into the shore, the wind's backing off. It's down to 18 knots apparent. And then we'll get up here just another quarter mile or so, maybe a half a mile. Get tucked in nicely. And watch that happen. I don't know how many people we still have in the chat. We got 5 with us. So I guess, I mean, it's kind of interesting for some folks. I mean, it's just like watching waves bounce up and down is all it is, but it'll make for some good video. I'll download this later, use it in the episode. Okay, yeah. Get some good wind in here. Still at 20 knots right there. Oh yeah. Now the fun part's coming. And get a little bit closer, I can go up and get this reef put in. It'll be my first time reefing by myself. I guess you guys are going to get to see it live on the internet. Woo! Ha-ha! Party! Yeah, there's some waves. You can just see them crashing on. Big part of the upcoming projects, I need to get this boat really organized because my lazarette's just kind of become a place to stash a bunch of stuff. And I'd like to get everything out of my lazarette so I can start putting all the fenders and everything back there when I'm not using them. So right now I've just kind of had them on deck, and that's not the best solution. So especially right now, I'm a little bit worried about tripping those things. I gotta go up to the mast there, so that'll be an interesting adventure. Yeah, wind's down to 15 now. Got some good seas in here. Got some real good seas in here. I'm trying to just creep up a little bit higher. We're not quite up to the lee just yet, but she sure died off a bunch. Down to about 17. Woo! Big wave. got some whitecaps starting to roll down through here. In a couple hours, this is going to get pretty bumpy. It hasn't had a whole lot of time to build yet, but looking up, it's clear blue skies. I really like that. It means that I'm going to stop getting rained on here. So should have a nice little trip in. Bet these little houses on the beach get quite a show once in a while. I guess you guys can't really see them, and I can't see the chat right now, so I'm just kind of talking as I go, as I'm getting into where it's a little bit technical, so I got to pay attention to what I'm doing. Life jacket on here. Yeah, we're coming off just a little bit too much. Dexter doesn't know what to do with himself. He's like, my house is leaning over. What do I do? Okay, this is a lot better. This is going to be kind of bumpy. And to put that reef in, I'm going to need 2 winch handles, because it has a different winch on the mast than it does on the boom, which is a real pain in the butt. We need to get that changed out too, get everything matching. All the little things when it comes to owning a boat. I hear a helicopter off in the distance. I wonder if that's Coast Guard. Yeah, we're kind of getting tucked up into this little pocket of the land. Ah, the phone! Oh, just died. Well, here we are, guys. My phone is, oh, it's still saying low battery. My phone died on me, so hopefully everything there is okay. We'll start getting it. Got the reef put in, everything taken care of there. I just wanted to check in and say, yeah, I'm okay, everything's fine. Phone quit just right as I was getting ready to go forward. So now that little cell's moved past, the wind has really died down, which I am in the lee of the land right now. And we are seeing some wind start to bump in there. So we'll see what's going to happen. I'm going to take in on this main sheet some. This is pretty crazy. I can get a little more angle on that. We're running crosswind right now. Whew. I worked up a little bit of a thirst. That was an adventure, getting all that kind of squared away. And then just as I get the reef put in, there went the wind, gone. And so we got a little bit back now. It's only running. I think it was just that little storm cell pushing through, and with the storm went the wind. What I understand is the way on the Pacific Ocean a lot of the time. Yeah, so that was a good learning experience, kind of seeing that rolling through, seeing what it's going to be. I know there's a few things that fell down in here that I'm going to need to secure a little bit better in the future, and just kind of getting the boat ready for some of those bigger trips. So the next time I go out, I'll just lock her on down a little bit better than what she is. Someone just sent me a message. Yeah, Brandon just sent me a message. I'm already back, Brandon. Oh, yeah, here we go. Now there's a little wind coming back. We're back up there in that 15 knots. So it's just dropping in the face of this little island out here. Actually, it's not even an island, it's a spit. I think they call this Hood Head is what they call it. And I'm just going past here. I can't remember if it's the one on the other side or the one on this side here. But it's right at the top of the Hood Canal if anyone looks at a map. And you'll be able to see kind of right where I'm at right now. There's just this little dog leg on the east side that pops out and holds 2, so I can get in behind that. Yeah, now that I'm getting in the clear, we're seeing the wind pick up a little bit. About 15 knots right now. But we do have a reef in, so she's doing it gingerly. Oh, there we go. There's a little power. It's amazing how much pulling that first 4 feet out of the sail really makes a difference. I mean, it just shortens it down so much. Oh yeah, there we go. Notification, date and time information. I don't care. Go away. Let me see the phone. So yeah, we're sailing hard now. Got a reef in. She's a little bit more controllable. I like that. I just put the first reef in, and I come off a little bit, we'll probably get just a little bit more speed out of her. I'm not real happy with the trim on the main though. I need to do something about that because she's flapping the luff edge pretty hard, so I'm going to try and bring that in some. So needs just a little bit more